Hi there, this is Charlene Burke with Grow Because You Know. That's www.growbecauseyouknow.com. Welcome to Morning Mindset Cafe, where we are gathering to read a little bit and discuss Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, a little bit at a time. This morning, our focus is going to be the 6 steps to transmute desire to riches. It's actually the beginning of chapter 2, which is all about desire. It's a starting point. Desire is the starting point, a burning desire to get something done, a burning desire to achieve something. So we have that. We got some people call it passion. Some people call it enthusiasm. Some people call it, I'm backed in a corner and I've got to get something done. Must do something. Must reach this point, must get out, right? Burn the bridges, burning desire. We've got all that. You know, the belly's on fire. We're ready. We have it in our head what we're going to be going after. So now the question comes, how do you get it? How do you turn that burning desire into the money that you have in your mind, what you're going to make for your business, maybe the salary you want to make out of your career and your job? What is that? How do you do that? How does that happen? And that is what this piece is about. There's 6 steps. There are 6 steps. So the first step, I'll do a quick review, and then I'll open the seats up. Let's have some discussion. The first step, fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Be definite as to the amount. This isn't where you say, I want to be rich. I want to be a millionaire. I want a whole lot of money to come into my pocket right now. This isn't the place to do it. Now is the time to be definite. If you are looking, and I mean definite, you know, if you're looking at your checkbook and you see that you have $101.16 in there, and you want $1,000 in that checkbook, then you're going to want $899.84, right? That's how specific Napoleon Hill says we need to be. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Number 2, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. Yeah, you ain't going to get it for free. You got to do something for it. What are you going to do in return? Meaning, hey, you're coming to me with a product or a service. You tell me what it is that you're offering so that I give you money in exchange for that product or service. Number 3, establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. This is, stamp the date on it. Is it next month? Is it February 1st? Is it January 25th of 2016? Is it January 5th of 2017? Maybe it's May 25th of 2016. Establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you need. I'm sorry, the money you desire, because this goes beyond need. We got the burning desire. Number 4, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, ready or not. Create the plan. Got specifics in there. And begin at once. No dilly-dallying, no fiddle-farting, no hesitating. You've got the plan. It's time to put it into motion at once. Number 5, write a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. My typing got a little hinky there, sorry. Write a clear, concise statement of the money you intend to acquire. Name the time limit, state what you intend to give in return, and describe the plan. Now you've got it all pulled together and you've written it out in a concise statement, right? And then number 6, read your written statement aloud 2 times daily, once before going to bed, once in the morning. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of money. And there we have our 6 steps. Sounds pretty simple. What do you think? Any thoughts? Anybody want to jump in and talk to me? Hi, Linnea. Nice to see you here. Good morning, Tracy. Good to see you here. Glad you're with us. And hi, Marcia. Glad you came in as I was reading these out loud. So you have the desire. It's a burning desire. Whatever the reason is that it's a burning desire is yours. You have the desire. You have the desire to win. You have the burning desire to achieve. You have the burning desire to see a store built. You have that burning desire that you will be working with a particular person. Maybe it's a burning desire to connect with somebody in particular. Maybe it's whatever that burning desire is going to require some money. This is the first step towards riches. Okay. So now we're going to take that burning desire and we're going to turn it into the first step of getting the money. Every human being who reaches the age of understanding of the purpose of money wishes for it. Wishing will not bring riches, but desiring riches with a state of mind that becomes an obsession, then planning definite ways and means to acquire the riches and backing those plans with persistence that doesn't recognize failure is what will bring riches. So the method to do it are these steps. Anybody done these? The first one is to fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire, be definite as to the amount. I've done that. I've actually done all of these, and I am on step 6. And mine is by the first day of February 1, 2016, I will have in my possession this particular amount of money in my hands and coming to me in monthly income. In exchange for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and best possible quality of service in the capacity of marketing and search consultant. I believe I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong I can now see it and with my eyes. I can see it before my eyes. I can touch it in my hands. I am now waiting transfer to me at the time and in proportion I deliver the service I intend to render for it. All related to, I can't just wish money into existence. I can't, I don't know how to do that. If you know how to do that, jump on here and show us. Because wishing isn't going to do the trick. It's just not going to work. You just don't. And so what Napoleon Hill is telling us is that, we all come to an age of understanding about money. And in the rawest form, we come to the age that says, you know what? We understand that we want money. We understand we need money. We understand that how it works in terms of transaction, and that I want some. And that's a beginning. But let's go a little further. Okay, seats open. Anybody want to jump in and have a conversation, have questions, or want to make comments? I went pretty specific this morning, I know. I was in a tactical mood, can you tell? When I was reading this and prepping for today, I'm like, we need something we can walk away with. Well, I think what's most interesting to me is that these 6 steps, they don't require any hard labor. They really don't. They don't call for any sacrifice. They don't call for anything incredulous. They don't call for anything outrageous. Quite honestly, these are the 6 steps that you deploy in order to reach a goal. And in this case, all we're trying to do is say, you know what, I have a goal of a particular amount of money. That's what we're doing. So if you look at it that way, are you up for having a conversation about it? Or you just want to jump in and say, hey, morning mindset. I want my mind focused on when I have a definite goal and I have a burning desire, there are some steps I need to take, and that I am willing to take those steps.
I should have turned the light on first.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
Yeah, the backlight is way back here.
Yeah, I'm going to turn this light on. I think the writing things down and having it before you is so important. I hate that because I can't write. I hate too bad. But I like that having it before you thing. And even as sloppy as I do write, I can still know what I put down. So I think that's very important. Journaling. I like Matt's journal. He mentions journaling all the time. And somebody said, I can't remember who, the unjournaled life is not worth having. Something to that effect. So it's...
I'm not going to go that far.
What he said. I'm quoting.
Okay. Fair enough. Hey, good morning, Ken. Glad to have you with us. Nice to see you here.
But I'll tell you, if you want clarity of thought, journaling helps, because if you go back and read it and you go, I'm an idiot, or
or look at that moment of brilliance.
Yeah.
So the habit of getting something definite in your mind, fix in your mind the exact amount of money that you desire, fix in your mind the exact outcome you're looking for on the goal, fix in your mind exactly what it is that you've got that burning desire to accomplish.
Yes.
Where it starts in the thought, doesn't it?
Can
we do that by ourselves, or can we do that in teams? What do you think?
You can. It's always better to have input.
Okay.
Your computer doesn't run well without it. You sit there, stare at a screen, and if you don't put in electricity, it's a blank screen.
Right. So you're saying for yourself, though, that it's good to have somebody to bounce it off of, maybe, or to help you to refine it? Yes,
as long as you're very careful of the audience you choose.
That's a very good point. I'm glad you said that. And yesterday I was on a blab, and somebody was talking about the great value of blab, being able to brainstorm and mastermind, if you will, about a problem. And all that kept going through my mind was, you're not doing it now. You're just talking about there's great value in it. And I kept waiting for them to say, so I've got this problem and I want everybody to help me with it. Because all that kept going through my mind is, how do I know to trust what you're saying? Just exactly what you just said, Brian. So if I come on here and I've seen people do this, come on here and put out there, help me come up with the goal for the business, or help me refine my plan, or something like that. And I'm doing that. I'm sorry, you're inviting the general public to come in and guide how you are going to do things. That doesn't sit well with me at all. What about you, Brian?
Roy Montero and I had a really interesting discussion, and he likes using the car. There's
Yes.
very limited seats on the car, and you cannot cram 100 people into a car and be safe and drive down the road.
Correct.
So, I have 4 people right now that are in my inner circle. Well, really 5, but I'm very careful about who speaks into me or who I have intimacy with.
Right.
Me see.
Right. Well, and I think the same thing applies here. If I'm going to go through the exercise of the 6 steps, right, to transmute that desire into riches, that desire into the final outcome, and I'm going to ask somebody to help me do that, I got to tell you, in all honesty, Anke's first day on Blab, I'm sorry, dear, but I'm not going to be asking you to come help me to refine this, or Paul, I've seen you around, but we've never spoken. And yet I see people do this, and honestly, I scratch my head and I say, and you wonder why you're not successful, why you're not finishing things, it just, I don't know. I find it interesting. It's a completely different way of thinking than I have. I'm with Brian. I have my inner circle. I have people that I trust. I've watched them. Some have mentored me. Others are successful. I've watched them be successful. I know how they think. I see how they do things. Some of it isn't the way I do things, but I respect who they are. Oh, and I'm willing to throw something out. I guess I'm going to pay attention when they speak.
Yeah. One pastor I heard put it this way: you don't invite the general public into your kiss.
Yeah. That's it exactly. That's it exactly. Yeah.
I'm not shoving you out of my circle. What I'm saying is, let's work on this a little bit. Let's get a little closer and then find out where we're at. Because you're the general public. You don't have the right nor the ability to speak into me. And no matter how hard you push your way in or demand anything, until I allow it, I'm still in control.
Right. So. Well, and I'm still in control. In something like Blab, I'm definitely in control. I can leave.
You can kick?
I can kick people out. It's my Blab. I can let people in, to an extent. But I still control what I say and what I, as you say, allow into me.
And I'm not saying don't take the advice. I am saying filter it. I am saying, because you've seen what people speak into me. It's defeat. It's
limitations.
You're insane. They never said that, but you need other people. Yeah, I do. Everybody needs other people, but let's be careful that we're not going on opposite goals, and let's be careful that we're not trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. And you have the power, you as the individual have the power to limit or accept your audience.
Correct.
An audience may be a bad word if you're a public speaker, but your circle.
Well, the audience is for something like this. We have an audience now. And we'll have an audience for those who are watching the replay. We do. Hence, I'm not going to go into great detail right now. I'm not going to go into detail about asking you to help me, first off, to figure out exactly how much money I'm going to need to do something.
As long as I get some, we'll be good.
There you go. And that's why That's why, but I just find it interesting. I've seen people do it, and these aren't the successful people. Hence, I'm not seeing a reason to do it. Quite honestly, is what it comes down to. Welcome, Brian. The other Brian, Hannity. Good to see you here. Enjoy. Glad to have you here. Craig, it's been a while since I've seen you, my friend. I'm glad you're here. All right, so what we're doing is we're looking over the 6 steps. So this is the book, Think and Grow Rich. How am I going to transmute that desire into actual money? How does that happen? And there's 6 steps. These 6 steps can also bring us to the fruition of an accomplishment, a goal. It's the same 6 steps. You just change out, instead of money, the exact outcome you're looking for. What does it look like? It first starts with the thought, right? What do you think of that, Brian? You have the thought backed by the desire.
I think a lot of times choosing words carefully. We speak out of lack. We speak out when we do something like this, when we start planning, I know for myself, maybe I'm speaking to myself, it's panic mode. Because I live in panic mode right now. So I think we need to stop speaking in lack and just speak in reality. Because when we focus on the lack or what you don't have,
right,
you're
reinforcing what you don't have.
Well, that too, but you
recognize it, but now put in your mind, what is it you want to have?
Yeah, well,
right.
It all comes down to money.
Mm-hmm. It does.
But
it does. That's what we're talking about here.
But I think that when you speak from a position of lack, you don't reinforce what you do have. I do have a roof over my head, even though I'm $200 and something lacking in paying for that roof.
Mm-hmm.
I do have cell phone service, even though.
Yeah, but see, you're still speaking from lack.
Yeah, I can.
So a for instance would be, here is an assessment of where we sit right now. This is how much money it will take in order to keep the roof, the cell phone, the internet connection, the living expenses, right? So let's say just an arbitrary number. I need $600. And we decide that's the exact amount of money that we desire. I mean, you can't get more exact. That's $600, or unless you want to go $602.47. If you want to be that exact, it is from where I began at the start of this morning, which is that I'm seeing this number in the checkbook and I want it to be raised to a specific number.
Okay,
fine.
Oh, sorry.
Fine. That's the number. So now what we do, I think what can trip so many people up, quite honestly, is that we're talking huge numbers, and it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. These are the steps in order to attain that which we desire. I've been in survival mode, and I've done this. So I had the exact number in my mind of what we needed. This is what I want. This is what I desire. It's, as I said, I may be backed in a corner. That might be the reason I have that burning desire. Woohoo, I have it. Let's put it to use, okay? So now I have the exact number of that which I want. I desire this exact number. Now, what am I willing to do? What am I going to do? What can I do in return for that money? What skill set do I have to offer? What connections do I have to be able to talk with and to exchange with? What product do I have that I can sell? yeah, that's what this is saying. Exactly what you intend to give in return for the money that you desire, because you're not going to get anything for free. Now, especially when it comes to money, right?
Yeah.
And then number 3, establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. So we've got $600. Let's say that in exchange for that, I am willing to, I'm going to go from my own point of view here. If I want $600 by February 1st, 2016. In return for that, I will give, if I add it up, it'd be roughly 3 hours of consultation time, whether to one person or to 3. What can I give? What will I give and intend to give in return for that? Would be my facilitation skills for maybe 4 mastermind groups. Okay. What else do I have? I have products that I can sell. I have a blogging platform. I have training materials. I have mindset materials. I have one-on-one training workshops that I can do. So now I'm listing all that I intend to give in return.
I think too, a lot of times in thinking of this, in the limiting the audience, I'm sorry, I'm going backwards.
It's okay.
That we have a platform like Blab where they have various topics where you could learn from people almost anything. Again, limit your audience with this too. Don't take everything in as gospel truth. But listen, a lot of times, even things we know, we don't listen. And we think we know it, but we put up walls that are going to limit our intake.
Mm-hmm.
You know the truth based on your and truth is a bad word here. You know what you need. Your body will tell you what it needs. If it needs salt, you're going to start craving salty. If it needs, so listen to that which you need and then filter it. And I'm very particular about the filter based on experiences. But be careful who speaks in, but allow people to speak in, because it's just going to bring you a wealth of knowledge.
Okay. Linnea, I was hoping you'd jump in here. What an awesome gal. Coming into us from the passenger side. All right, you're not blabbing and driving. Love that. Thank you. How are you, dear?
Good morning. What a wonderful way to start my Tuesday. Thanks, Charlene.
Oh, glad to have you here, Linnea. Good to see you again.
Well, I just wanted to share a little bit. My husband and I are big Napoleon Hill fans. He's the driver here, my business partner and husband, Aaron.
Hey guys, good morning.
And yeah, he's really shaking his head in agreement in everything you're saying, Brian. You're speaking our truth. We have a 17-month-old daughter, and I just told Aaron last night, our daughter is going to start speaking Napoleon Hill because we're trying to get this in her subconscious, Think and Grow Rich, because we have experienced the success for ourselves. My husband, actually, when he first started in business in his early 20s, said he was going to be a millionaire by the age of 30. He wrote down that number and that date and that age. And at the age of 30, he owns $1 million company. So when we started our first marketing company, we knew the exact figure that we had to get to succeed, for us to be able to maintain the lifestyle. When we both quit our full-time jobs, we knew the exact number that we needed. And Aaron has always worked backwards. He'll set that goal, set that figure in place, and we'll set a definite date. So then we work backwards and break it down month by month. This is what we need to do by this time. This is what we need to do by this week to reach this goal. So
there it is. Yes. And it's all the same steps, right? It's the same steps every time. Start with the end in mind, chunk it down so you know what needs to be done. There's the plan. Now, question I have for you, which this is used to be what tripped me up, is I had to have all the details of the plan in place before I started it. That was me. It just had to be. I had to know what next step to take before, 16 steps down the road, had to have that planned out before I even started on step 1. So what happened with me was that I said, hey, no, we just need to get started. Actually, I didn't say it. I had somebody else kick me in the butt, and it worked. It worked.
Well,
that's
exactly it. They say you have to jump and the net will appear.
Love that. Thank you. It's been ages since I've heard that. Yes. Jump, the net will appear. That's the step of faith, walking into faith and just.
You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step.
Yes.
And my husband and business partner has been that for me, because I'm like you, Charlene. I crave security. So I want to know that my needs are going to be that I'm going to be taken care of if I start on this. And my husband is like, hey, his eye is on the goal. And what happens when your eye is on the goal and that monetary goal and that date is that you really don't pay attention to the distractions that are coming, up at you as you're going along, because you are so set on that goal and you want it so bad and you have to make it happen by that date that, anything that comes up against you, any opposition, it's just in the way. You just do what you have to get it out of the way so you can keep going on towards that goal.
Yes. Yes, Linnea, that's it. That's it. You're articulating it so much better than I was. I so appreciate that. So where you go ahead, Brian.
I said I live in Colorado Springs and I have the mountains all around me. And I love mountains. And I'm going to climb Pikes Peak. I'm not supposed to be doing that. I'm supposed to be in a wheelchair. I'm supposed to be crippled.
Oh, the heck with supposed to be's, right?
And
That's right.
I've thrown that all out. I'm walking up Pikes Peak. And I'm doing it as soon as the weather changes. Because I don't like the cold or the hot. But,
and we're going to make him strap a camera onto the dogs so that we can record this.
Can I get my husband to share for a moment, Charlene?
Absolutely.
Hey guys,
Hey,
great to see you. We've had a couple different experiences with this, and with both of our businesses actually. And I actually started manifesting at a very young age. I never knew when Linnea was telling you the story. I grew up very poor, didn't have anything. Two alcoholic parents, had no background, dropped out of high school in 10th grade. Just no formal education in any way, shape, or form. But I always had this feeling in my gut. I always said, I will be a millionaire. I will be a millionaire. And I don't know where that ever came from. But as I had that set in my mind, like I said, I always said, by the time I'm 30, I will be a millionaire. I will be a millionaire. And what I learned from that is, like you were saying, you have to be specific, because what had happened, instead of having a net $1 million in my bank account, which is what I should have been saying, I owned $1 million company. So I hit it, but I wasn't specific enough. So it's so important to be specific. And we've, again, done that in many businesses. Our marketing company, we've done the same thing. We started a Kona Ice franchise, which is a shaved ice business. And I was telling people these numbers, and they thought I was crazy. I said, nobody could believe the numbers that I was saying that we were going to make. And we had a month where we generated almost $100,000 selling snow cones. So you have to just believe. When you make that decision, and then you just believe with that unwavering faith, and then you just take action, you'll be amazed what God, the universe, will put in front of you. If you're not taking action and you're constantly being held up, then you're never going to give that opportunity the chance to manifest in your life.
That's it. Boom, right? Be that specific. I love that. Yeah, you have $1 million company. It wasn't quite what you were talking about, but okay.
So now when we have the goals, you know, he says, let's talk in net numbers. Let's talk in number of people, because we've seen how it works. Not that we're disappointed, Charlene.
No, I didn't.
Disappointed, but we understand how important. I mean, words speak life. You know, when somebody tells you I love you, what that speaks to, when somebody tells you they hate you, what that speaks to. I mean, think about the power of words and how awesome it is that we can speak that power into our own life, into what we want, into what we desire. You know, we're at a point now in our business where we're, ready to make a transition, and we're weighing all of our options, and we're very, very comfortable and very taken care of. You know, we've been blessed in our business, whereas in the past we had a lot of pain we were coming from. So now it's scarier and scarier for us to take these risks. And this was a perfect blab for us this morning, a perfect reminder that we just need to set our eyes on the goal. We have not set a specific goal with this next venture. So we have to do that. And then, you know, the other thing that I'm worried about, like you, Charlene, is, okay, what about this? And what are we going to do with this? And we've got this and this. And, you know, again, it's just a reminder that I just need to keep my eyes focused on the goal, and everything else is just going to happen. So
a question I have for you then is that, do you think that the anxiety or hesitation or fear that you have about going into the next venture, even though you've got proven success behind you, but it's stemming from the fact that you're not that specific of what you're going after?
Yes, that's exactly it. That's been our issue and where we're at right now. So we just need to be a lot more specific. That's exactly it. In the past, we were so specific in the past. We knew exactly what we had to do. And when we look back at it now in our story, we were in the automotive industry, in 2008, when everything crashed and GM filed bankruptcy. It was the worst possible time for us to start an advertising business that was talking to car dealerships, because it was just, there was a lot of turmoil. All the banks were pulling out. They weren't lending anymore. It was just not the perfect time, but we had such a burning desire and such a strong goal that we pressed on. And we look back now and say, man, that was only God, because everything around us would have said, no way, guys, you're not going to succeed. But we wanted it so bad. And we said, all it's going to take is this one deal at this much money. And once we have that, we'll be soaring. And guess what? You know, it happened. So
that's what happened. So now then you are tasked with sitting down and actually outlining what that looks like, right? What for this next venture you're going into, what it is that the outcome looks like, and what you're going in for, right? What you're going to be working towards.
Yeah, and that's it. We're having a hard time we're just having a hard time getting specific and really, really honing in. I mean, we've discovered so many talents and so many skills over the last decade of being in business. We've made so many connections that, you know, it's the fear of missing out on this. If we go after this, oh my gosh, what about that avenue? You know, there's just so many opportunities. Is that the right opportunity? Because we've also, in our 10 years of being in business together, we've started things that we decided were not the right thing for us, and we stopped. And when we go in, we go all in, as I'm sure you do as well.
Yes. So,
there's the fear of that too. How much of my life I don't want to waste another year when I could be working on this.
Well, is this then where, as Brian was saying earlier, is this where now you go to your trusted inner circle and say that we want to move into a new venture, but we're having difficulty determining what that exactly looks like, and possibly getting that inner circle to help you to visualize it, exactly, or to get more clear.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got, we've got results coaches that we've been working with over the last year. And, like you said, other business people that we respect, that we respect their opinion. You know, we talk to one another, but we get tied up in weighing all the details, listening to this, following this map, doing this. Well, let's just listen to one more person giving us advice. And at some point, you just have to take action.
Well, that's my question to you. Wait a minute. My question to you was just how many people did you go through? Did you go through this much when you started the first business?
No, absolutely not.
So it gets worse the more successful I get then? Because
Yeah.
when I first started, I didn't put this much into it. And then when I went into my second venture, I put more effort and that kind of flopped. So the next one, of course, had to require even more detail because the one that flopped, right? And that one, I didn't even start. I didn't even start that one. And then the third one, I guess the third one after the first business, because the first business is still going. So the third one I started November of 2014. That's Grow Because You Know for individuals. And that one's working well. And I didn't get near as detailed about the starting of it that I did of the other two that tripped me up. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Wow. And that's just what I need. And that's what I have a trusted advisor that, I invested in for my own personal development last year, $10,000 for a results coach that I talk to once a week, but she always, puts me on track, very objective. And I respect her success and where she's been at. And she looks at my opportunities with me, and she looks at she helps me and my own personal growth. And it's really kind of been more like a lighthouse, she just kind of brings me back. So, and she talks to me the same way you do, Charlene, really, Linnea? Okay, the first business, you jumped all in. You were, that naivete made you $1 million, right when you thought it should. So, yeah.
Well, that's just it. I mean, the step that says, I'm just going to read it to you. The step that says, you create a definite plan and begin at once, whether you're ready or not. It didn't say create a completely detailed plan of step by step how to do it. It's just, this is what I'm going after. I kind of see what I'm going to have to do. I see what I need to do right now and jump in and just start doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more we have, the more we worry about it.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm with both of you, both you and Brian, on the having that inner circle or having somebody. You've got the results coach, which is somebody from the outside who has a really objective viewpoint. Not somebody who's inside and I can manipulate with my feelings, so to speak, right? But somebody that I can say, this is what's in front of me. I've got my own business coach. And I'm looking at doing something this week that's going to be an expenditure. I mean, on the surface, it looks like, yes, this is an investment towards me reaching that goal I've got for February 1st. I'm hesitating because I'm not certain about it. And my coach isn't going to be available until Monday. So I've already set it aside and said, I'm going to have to put it before him to see if this is really in line with where I want to be, because it's a hefty investment. Yeah, I get it. So you guys are on the road, eh?
Yep, we are. We're headed out. To work with a client here in southern Mississippi, close to New Orleans. We work with Toyota dealerships. Our company marketing, our Monster Events puts on marketing events for car dealerships across the southern states. So we have an agreement with a lot of the Gulf States Toyota dealerships, and we'll go in and kind of do a little dealership overhaul, help them kickstart their year with some sales and get their service department in line and do some training. My husband here is a great motivator and inspiration for them. So do you have anything else to kick in, Aaron?
Yeah, that's one you were talking about earlier, is you have to believe that you already have it in your possession. And in the automotive industry, we have a saying is, when is the best time to sell a car? Is right after you just got done selling a car, because you're confident, you feel great, you're just on top of the world, and you just feel like you can do anything. And what happens? You end up attracting another customer right away at that point in time, and you end up selling them again because you're on that vibration. You're on that high frequency, which is going to attract you more of what you want. So important to feel that you already have what you want in your possession. Love
that. That's an excellent point, because that helps to take care of the fear by putting it into faith.
Yep, exactly.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Love that you guys jumped in. Anybody else want to jump in and join us in the conversation? Hello? one and another one that says it works. That's what I like. And another one. Yes, this stuff really does work.
I'm going to go ahead and jump off.
Okay, Brian. Thanks for being on. Appreciate you.
Good meeting you, Brian.
You too. I followed you.
You have a good morning, Charlene. We're going to take off too.
Okay,
we're going to get focused for the week. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, glad you made it this morning. Hope to see you tomorrow. Anybody else want to jump in? These are the stops. Isn't that interesting what we do to ourselves? She reminded me that when I first started my business, there was a burning desire of what to get away from, right? And I moved forward with it and didn't have all the details of the plan. And suddenly I need all the details of the plan, really? And the more details that I got, the two that I started to do that with didn't work. I mean, I did them, but it didn't work. There were some things missing. For me, there wasn't a set end result I was looking for. That's one of the things that was missing. And then on another one, there was a definite revenue goal. There was, a layout of exactly what's going to be given in return for, what service was going to be provided. The date was there of success that would be considered success. The problem was I got caught up in the details of the planning, and I got into so many details that I got boxed in. So when we started, because it involved partners, when we started, I felt like I had to stay within that box of the plans. And then Grow Because I started in 2014. Big investment. A lot of money was spent on myself and on the purchase of products and services to offer. And I did about a quarter of the planning. But I had the goal in mind. I had the outcome, the definite amount of money I wanted from it, which is part of what's happening February 1st of this year. And I got started right away. So why wait? And it's getting there. I'm going to reach my goal. Right now I'm on target. So it works. Thank you for that reminder, Linnea. Appreciate that. Thank you. Does anybody want to jump on and say hey? Hi, Cheryl. Glad you're here. Good to see you. Michelle, glad you could make it. Hey, Cindy. Anybody want to jump in? Seat is open. Anybody wants to talk about those 6 steps? Whether to transmute desire into riches or to reach a goal. What's the stumbling block? If there is one. Did you write this out? Hello, Craig. Good morning.
Morning, Charlene. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. I don't have but a minute here, but I've been kind of out for the holidays, and traveling, and all that kind of good stuff. So, been missing the broadcast here for about almost 3 weeks.
You've been missed. You have been missed. I've noticed.
So, good to be missed. So, but did want to say, when I first got on, it was all about you, and when we spoke personally, it was focus. You got to focus on something. So I'm just wanted to say that because of watching, you and continually, the people that bring in or that come in and join in, and it's really, really helped me start to focus on what it is I need to do.
So you have then. You have refined what your attention's going to be, where it's going to be.
Right. And monetary goal and that kind of thing. So I've got it down to last little, just put it down into some very specific goals I'm going to write down this week. And
excellent.
So,
congratulations. Because that was a big deal. I mean, our discussion involved, I remember it. And You had to pick.
Yeah, I had to pick.
What's going to get your attention? What's going to, because that which you give your attention to is what's going to grow.
Yeah, and it's I have family and relationships and blah blah blah. I just need to focus on
we didn't talk about any of that.
Yeah,
right? No, we didn't go into any of that. Just so everybody knows, we didn't go into that. We were just talking some of the business related things.
Yeah, well, all those are for me were business related as well, and that's all I was trying to make out of that point was
okay.
They were business related, father, girlfriend, blah blah blah. Everybody's got a business. Everybody wants something from me, and I'm trying to help, and and it's all kind of come to fruition in the last couple of weeks, especially over the holidays. So I'm looking forward to a productive week. So,
fantastic. Anyway. Well, congratulations, Craig, because that's an accomplishment in itself to be able to refine it down to this is what I'm going to go after.
Yep. Yeah.
This is it. This is what's going to get my attention. Good.
So,
excellent.
So anyway, yep, enjoying the broadcast today, and I haven't seen what was it, Linnea? She jumped on before.
Yeah, she's pretty new.
Yeah,
pretty new to Blab. This is like her third one.
Cool.
She is. I hope everybody followed her. She is fantastic. I am. I'm pleased to have her be. Mm-hmm. She's not in my inner circle, but she's in my outer circle.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely very inspirational. So
she is, and she's very down to earth. That's what I like about her. This is the reality, people. It really is. You heard her. They're getting. I mean, and what it reminded me of. Getting ready to start a new venture, already have proven success behind me, and I got to go into that much more detail because just in case.
Right. Yeah.
When based on, I started my business June of 2008, and I went ahead and jumped on in, right? Mm-hmm. And said, because I knew this was the direction I needed to take. And the one that I did in 2014, I knew this is the direction I needed to take.
Yeah.
Start at one. Just do it.
That was definitely very helpful to, point me in the right direction.
Well, and the other thing I liked was how she talked about that specificity made such a difference, being very specific about what you're going after, because that's what kept them going. Love that. Yep, yeah, Brian, definitely. She let us in the car, didn't she?
So
good stuff. Yeah. So I'm glad she was able to jump in. And I'm glad you were able to jump in. You do the same thing, Craig. Jumping in and smiling and saying, you know what? This is where I am now. And when you were sharing that you weren't anywhere before was good. Because we all need to know that everybody's in their own spot, right? Mm-hmm. I can't compare myself to you. I need to compare myself to where I was yesterday.
Right. Exactly. So, all right. Okay. I got to hop off and get to work.
Okay.
So everyone have a great day.
Thanks for dropping in.
All right. Bye-bye.
Say, hey, Steve. Good morning. Good afternoon to you. And Jimbo, glad you're here. Anybody want to jump in and talk about those being specific, fixing your mind exactly what the outcome you want or the money you desire. Be definite in that amount. I loved what Lene said about Aaron was he was exact to a point. The mistake they made, I want $1 million. Well, he had $1 million company, and he said, okay, now we're going to get specific. I want $1 million net. I don't, because we all know, those of us in business, that $1 million company does not mean you have $1 million in your bank. It's not what it means. Revenue, gross revenue, and net are two completely different things. So yeah, be that specific, right? And it doesn't have to be $1 million. Like, I was walking with Brian through my own exercise of, I want $600 by February 1st. And in return for that $600, this is what I'm going to give. And these are the options that I have, the services that I have available. And that's, put it out there. Who do I get it in front of? Okay, let's go. Oh, sounds simple, I know. The difficulty some of us have is getting fixed in the mind. We may be able to fix in our mind the exact money we want, but then what exactly are we going to give in return? as you heard Lene go through we're going to start a new venture, but if we do this, then that means we can't do this over here. That's right. That's right. And what that brings to my mind is the reminder that, am I committing to doing this particular service for the rest of my life? Am I committed to doing this project that I'm working on with Brian and Aaron and Christian for the rest of my life? To the exclusion of everything else? No. No. For the moment. For right now. A little bit of perspective for myself. It's for the moment. It's for right now. Because I make this decision doesn't mean that this is the way it's going to be from this point forward every single day for the rest of my life. No. Only until the outcome is reached. Only. That's why there's a definite date. Love that. A seat's open. Anybody wants to jump in, feel free. Talk about those 6 steps to reaching the riches that you want. You know, how to change the thought into riches. Achieving that ultimate goal that you're going after.
I'm doing this real quick. I find it incredible that you beg people to come onto the seat almost. I don't know if beg's the right word, but regardless, you keep asking for people to jump in, and you're sitting here repeatedly asking people to jump in, and I need their input.
As do I. But that's all I can do is just ask, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if you're not willing to give and receive, what are you doing on below? Isn't this a waste of time? So
no, I'm not going to go that far, because there's been, good discussion in the side happens as well. It's just
and things come up, and I get that. And
right.
Maybe
have a seat at the table. Join me at the table. Get your cup of coffee. Come on in.
We don't want to see you in the fuzzy slippers and the pajamas necessarily. It would hurt, but but regardless, it just amazes me how we have 12 right now, but 51 people have come through this. Mm-hmm. And you said, "Come share your experience," and nobody shared. So
I can take from that one that they didn't have anything to share, which is fine. 2, Cheryl's on her cell phone, so she doesn't have any sound. So there's tech issues. 3, maybe it's not me that they want to talk to. Could be that they're getting what they need, and it's from everybody else.
This is true. We don't turn the TV on.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that.
Oh, yeah, they're shy.
I sit and listen. A lot of times I'll just sit and listen and then decide if I'm going to follow or whatever. So sure. It just drives me nuts to hear you say that over and over. Take the seat. And no other voices come through. So.
Yeah. Well, you jumped on. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. Your audience could have been 153 if I wouldn't have. No, I'm kidding.
All right, so we're at the top of the hour. Let me stop the recording, and I'll keep the room open for a little bit. All right, so everybody knows. There goes Brian. We're at the top of the hour. All right, so for those who've joined me in the live stream, thank you so much. Good information that's been taken. Good to see you, Craig. Glad you were here, Brian, Lene. It was terrific seeing you on here. Those in the comment section and those who've come through the room, thanks for joining us. And those watching the replay, thanks for hanging in there this long. This is Charlene Burke with Grow Because You Know. That's www.growbecauseyouknow.com. Let's move forward with the day on purpose, with purpose, to grow our hearts, grow our minds, and grow our businesses. Until next time, have a great day.